Hi friends, Rhonda Ferguson here. It is May 7th, 2019, and I wanted to share this journey I've been on. I, um, I actually have had this, I don't know, awakening, revelation, realization, whatever word you want to give it, um, for a few weeks now. April 15th is when I received this and started this journey. And so it's been a few weeks of going through my journey and growing in it and waiting for the prompting, I think, from God to share this because I didn't want this to be just about me or my journey, but to fully help you and to fully, I guess, understand it. And I don't think that I have arrived and I fully understand what I'm going to teach you, but I think I've got a good handle on it enough to teach it to you today. So on April 15th, so it's been a few weeks now, I had that revelation or realization that I'm not special. And that sounds really funny, but I realized that I had spent my life um, focusing, living in specialness, really seeking to be special. And I saw my whole life. If you don't know, I'm 50 years old. So I saw my whole life and I saw areas in my life where I saw myself as a victim and like my dad committing suicide or people rejecting me, people hurting me, deceiving me. Um, or when I believed that I had allergies to food, anything. I saw so many areas where I thought I was a victim, but mostly I saw areas that where I was extremely prideful and I thought I was better than people, and whether it's been in my family, my friends, school, work, churches, so many areas where I was prideful and I hurt people. And so um, on April 15th, it was just like an eye opening day. And I was just beside myself when you're hit, like, it's like this veil pulled back of what you've been really doing and living in, and you didn't realize it, and how it's affected your life and people's lives, and it was just like overwhelming. So I think I've spent the last 3 weeks just processing all of it and making it right with some people that I really hurt because I believed I was so special and they weren't. And I just really believe this is something that every single human being struggles with. Um, in the people I counsel and help, um, they tend, what I notice is we either tend to be more of a victim or more prideful, but we do have a little bit of both, but you'll tend to be one side or the other. And so, what I've realized in teaching people this is like if you could see it in your own life, if you could really take an honest look of your own life where you've strived to be special, um, then you can do something about it. But you can't do anything about a problem if you don't think you have a problem. So I have notes here that I'll probably keep referring back to, but really what I want to teach you is that I've been, we all have been living out of this false identity that we are special. And I want to help you today to recognize that and to break that off and to understand who you really are. So let's get started. If you want to get a piece of paper, that would be great. Maybe you want to kind of diagram this yourself. Get a piece of paper and on one side put victim, the other side put prideful, and draw a heart in the middle and write the word special or specialness. So what this is that it's very egotistical. It's very driven by your ego. And your ego will, and it's all thoughts. It's all it is. It's just thoughts. And so it's really kind of like an illusion, because you can change your thoughts about it in an instant and change your life. So what the ego will tend to do is it'll put you in the victim mode. You'll continue. It'll bring thoughts of people that have attacked you, what those attacks were, how it was, what they said, what they did, and that brings up a lot of bitterness and disdain and unforgiveness. You might think about how the sicknesses or diseases you've had, or you have, or you may have in the future, unfortunate events that have happened to you, accidents, injury, loss. Maybe you've been manipulated or used and abused or deceived. And what the ego will do is it'll just throw a thought at you about one of these, all of these, some of these, hoping that you come into agreement with it. Because if you come into agreement, go, yeah, that person really jacked me up. They hurt me. They embarrassed me. Whatever, gossiped about me. Whatever, stole from me. And you keep meditating on that and replaying that in your mind and making the movie. It becomes a belief, and it creates like this strong hold on you of whatever, unforgiveness, bitterness, shame, guilt, whatever. Then what it will also do is throw you in prideful thoughts. And for me, I was more in the prideful area. I did have a few little victim things, but mostly this is where I have lived personally. Focusing too much on my body image, knowledge that I'm more knowledgeable than people, or I know more than people. Maybe it's a position or wealth or career people struggle with, possessions, relationships, feeling like we're better than others, wanting to be admired, favored, popular. And this can come out of any area of your life, whether it's school, work, ministry, you name it. The way you can recognize this is when usually judging people comes out of this. You're constantly comparing and judging and wanting to be better than others. So your ego will tend to throw you in thoughts of being a victim, thoughts of prideful thoughts, back and forth throughout your life, and we tend to live there. We get stuck there in our mind and our thoughts. And then what that produces is being judgmental, jealous, comparison, stress, anxiety, constantly defending ourselves, because remember, we're trying to create an identity. We don't really know who we are, so we are trying to create this character that people will either feel sorry for and will get attention and feel special, or people will admire and look up to. When the truth is, and I like to use my little statue here when I help people, all of us are really spiritual beings, and we are needing to shed this ego of being a victim mentality or prideful. But when you start seeing that you are a spiritual being and everyone else is, we're all the same. We're just like in a costume, like in a character playing this life. But at the core of us, we're all the same. You can start letting this stuff go, because you're like, that's not really who I am anyways. How I'm fighting to look like a victim, or I'm fighting to be recognized and known and be a leader and be admired and popular. When you can see like that's not who you really are anyways, you can start letting it go. But if you don't know that this is who you are, you will you're going to be defensive, and you're going to constantly defend this character that you're trying to be. And it causes you to be depressed, frustrated, angry, bitter, maybe have envy, shame, and guilt. So, I hope this makes sense to you so far. So, what do? So, first and foremost is you've got to just stop and be vulnerable and honest with yourself, and just examine your life. Like, where have I just like totally believed I'm a victim? And where have I in my life been fighting to be recognized, popular, favored, known? And just get honest and write that down under victim or prideful, and just like think about how it's affected your life and how it's affected other people's lives. And then that's where you get to be like, oh my gosh, like these people, what starts happening is you go talk to these people that you've hurt, and they start telling you, yeah, I've watched you all these years fighting to be popular and known, or I've watched you all these years be just stuck in victim mode, so sad and depressed, and I couldn't pull you out, so I checked out. Like I said, peace out, bye. Like I can't do this anymore with you. I guess to them we become like toxic or something. But when you go and actually humble yourself and talk to these people that you've cut out of your life because you thought you were better than them or whatever, it's really really eye opening to how you affected their lives, and it really humbles you, and it's like you get to a point like, I am so sorry. Like, I am so sorry. I was fighting to be this thing that I didn't even need to be, because this is who I truly am. So, once you do all that, you recognize your victim mentality or your pridefulness, and you you have to decide, like, it's done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't need to do this anymore. I could be at peace with who I really am. You could start focusing on God, and you could start focusing on His kingdom, and which is just righteousness, peace, and joy, which is just helping humanity, which is just being the light and love that you are. When you start focusing on that, and you get your eyes off of you and having to be special, you start naturally producing love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, kindness in your life. And it's like it's a very painful, beautiful death of specialness. And I even wrote down here, the death of specialness is not your death, but your awakening to life eternal, which is love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, kindness. You're like, oh wow, herein is the abundant life. Herein is what I've desired my whole life, but I didn't know how to get there. I didn't even know I was trapped like in this prison of specialness. No one ever told me that. So what I want to propose to you, and what I'm gonna, I was thinking about this, like, how could I really help people? I teach this to people I counsel, and when they come to me, they actually get like a worksheet to work on this. You can make your own, like I said, just draw it out. But I want to offer to whoever's listening, if you really resonate with this, if you're like, oh my God, like this is me, this is what I've been struggling with, I've been stuck being a victim, or I've been striving so hard to be recognized and known, and I'm just so frustrated and depressed over either one, I'm going to do a drawing this month for somebody to have one session with me. So when somebody comes to meet with me, their first session is 2 hours, and I charge $50 an hour. So their first session is $100. And because the first hour, I'm just getting information from them to where they're stuck. And then the second hour, I help get them on the path of freedom. So what I want to offer, if you relate to this, and you would like more help than just this video can give you, I'm going to give away a free first session. So that's 2 hours with me, either over the internet. I can do FaceTime, or you could come here to my office, and you will get a free session. I'm just going to do a drawing. So that means you have to go on rfwellness, the number 90, at AOL.com. RF is in Frank, wellness 90 at AOL.com, and just send me your email and tell me you would like to be put in the drawing for the free first session, and I will announce that probably on the next video, or I'll contact you, or you can put your phone number too, and I will contact the winner and we will do this. So let me check my notes. That's it. That's everything. Wow. So if this was helpful to you, please share this with somebody. If you know somebody that's stuck in either one of these areas or all of it, please share it with them, and let them know about the drawing too, because I really want to start setting people free. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.